Hey everybody, James Robert Elliott here. I'm here with Chris Owokowicz, and we're going to talk today about why you need to trust yourself, why you already need to take action, why you already know enough, right? You already know enough. So I'm here with Chrissa, a former graduate of mine, amazing young lady, and we wanted to give you some value today. So let's talk about the first principle because I mean everyone has this imposter syndrome except the real imposters, and I want everyone to really get that. Everyone except the real imposters have imposter syndrome. So if you have imposter syndrome or had it or some permutation of it, then I can almost promise you're not an imposter. So talk to you more, Chris, about no one being broken, no one being fixed, because again, it's often a theme in our lives. Oh, I need this, I need that. And we have our own journey. You and me, we talked as well before this about just more training, more education, more certifications. And I need more before I blank. Let's talk about that. Talk to me about no one's broken. No one needs to be fixed.
Yeah. So first of all, if this imposter syndrome is coming up, I think it's really important to recognize, like you said, everyone's got it. So recognizing that you are not alone and just having compassion for yourself and being able to hold that space for yourself to feel into the imposter syndrome, feel into it and recognize that it's normal and it's okay. Um, and then, yeah, from there, I think one of my favorite things to do is looking back and to prove this imposter wrong. Like
Hmm.
you're wrong. Look at all these things I did. Here are the facts. And that's, as you know, we've done this. It's NLP. We're rewiring our neural pathways. We're reframing our brains and our mindsets to start to recognize those things naturally. Um, and over time, that becomes easier. It becomes more often or less often that the imposter kind of creeps in and pops up to ruin your day and bring you down.
Well, exactly. It's just stop that every time it
Yeah.
starts. And to your point, it gets less and less and less, which is really good.
Mhm.
That's the pattern interrupt. That's the NLP pattern interrupt. Whether
Mhm.
it's Tony Robbins cutting someone off or talking over someone, it's with intent. Whether it's me stopping someone saying cool and then starting new, whether it's you finding creative ways to stop someone from elaborating on why they can't. It's they're all or stopping that own voice in our heads. Everybody too. It's like stop it or shut up, or if you
Mhm.
prefer, give it a hug instead. Give that hurt, wounded part of you a hug and say I love you, and you can do the naughty or the nice one. Either way, whatever one you want to do, but they all work. It's stopping that pattern. And to your point, Carissa, it happens less and less and less.
Mhm.
Um, you again, like I said, you and I were talking earlier and about how we both, get imposter syndrome, I don't know enough syndrome, just so many courses and trainings and certification education. Talk to me about that because I had that too, but we were talking. Tell me more because I think a lot of people have that and perhaps think, oh, I'm not ready enough yet, or I don't know enough yet. Let's talk to me about that, please.
Yeah, I hear this over and over again with clients, with my own brain, and even friends, and other entrepreneurs and leaders. And I think it's really common to feel like you don't know enough. So keep paying for courses, keep trying to get certified in other things, and that's very much my story. My core inner critic is I'm not good enough, and that has stemmed over the years into I'm not smart enough, I don't know enough, I can't get started yet, I'm not ready. When really you're ready right where you are. And that's it, it's another reframe, I guess, is looking back at what you do know and all of the knowledge that you have gathered over the years and going starting with that. And if you want to keep getting certified in things, if you want to keep learning, which is really important, I
Yeah.
encourage learning forever.
Mhm.
I'm a if you could pay me to learn, that'd be my job. Um,
Right on,
but
right on.
that's okay. That's great. But not letting that fear stop you from getting started in the first place, not feeling like I need this to get started, because you're always going to be looking for more. So figure out where you are now, what you do know, the knowledge that you already have. And this is a big one, but trusting that you know enough and being okay with not always having all the answers. Sometimes the client, actually always the client is the master of the answers. They hold all the answers within them, and being able to hold that space for them in their wholeness is plenty. All that you can do, all that you need to do.
Fair, fair. And you're
Yeah.
right that we don't need to know everything or have all the
Mhm.
answers. I don't know is a perfectly good And I struggled with this too when I started teaching years ago. It's like, well, I mean, I'm the expert. I got to prove to them I know enough. I'm the expert. And well, what if, heaven forbid, I don't know the answer to something? Seriously, heaven forbid if you don't know the answer. Like, really, seriously, we're human, right? And so I've found and learned and found people would rather you say, I don't know. That's a great question. Let me go find out for you. Let me check with my mentor. Let me research. Let me think about it. Let me get back to you. They would much rather hear that than some bullshit you make up, and they can tell, okay, he doesn't know or she doesn't know. They're just trying to pretend they do.
Yeah.
Right. And that can play from a lot of imposter syndrome, or thinking we don't know enough, or, I got to prove to them I know enough because that means I'm good enough, or that means this, or if I don't know enough, that means I'm not smart enough, or I'm not capable. I shouldn't be here. They're going to find me out and I'll lose everything, or whatever that imposter is saying to you. So I really
Exactly.
resonate with you say, and I was there too. I was there as well.
Yeah.
That what if I don't know the answer? Heaven forbid, right? Versus,
Yeah.
and so many of us leaders are the same way, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders are not expected to know everything. Einstein didn't know everything. Steve Jobs, Oprah, Sir Richard Branson, Ariana Huffington, Ariana James didn't know everything. No one knows everything. We all have our specific and special spots and special genius zones. Even
Yeah.
Einstein, the great Einstein, I was telling you
Yeah.
this earlier, even Einstein, he said, if you judge a fish's ability to climb a tree, it'll forever think it's stupid. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, we all have our different genius zones. We all have, even within leadership, we all have our different genius zones, our own, competencies, core competencies, and our own amazing things, right?
Yeah.
So, Carissa, what can leaders do? And we're all leaders, right? Everyone's a leader, whether you're a business leader, a corporate leader, leading your family, leading yourself, leading your friends, leading someone that's in a tough place. I actually had a great conversation with a homeless person last night. It was awesome. A
Mm.
great conversation. We're always leading, right? We're always leading. So talk to us, Chris. What can leaders do when self-doubt or imposter syndrome creeps in? We talked about the shut up, stop, pattern, interrupt. What else can they do? What else can us leaders do?
I think that, well, that would be my main tip. And I think that self-compassion is the best thing that you can do,
Mm,
is recognizing that you are a human, and we don't have all of the answers. We don't know absolutely everything. I was talking to a client the other day in a group coaching session, and the topic was on confidence. And we did a lot of inner critic work, and everyone had to introduce themselves as their core inner critic. And they all came out, and it's a leadership team that I was working with. So they all came out and said, like mine, for example, hi, I'm Carissa, and I am not good enough for anything. So we went around and we all did it, and they all worked together on the leadership team in this company. And they're looking at each other like, bullshit, you don't know enough. Come on. I look up to you. I look up to you. They all look up to each other and pointing the fingers at each other. Like, this is who I'm modeling my behavior off of. How can you not know enough? How can you think that about yourself? So it was really powerful, actually, because everyone was like, whoa, we all feel this way. And it's eye-opening. So that self-compassion and that reminder that you are a human and you don't have all the answers, and that's okay.
mhm.
Um, and one of them said, I said, what if you did know everything? And she said, life would be really boring. There would be nowhere to go. There would be nothing to learn, nowhere to grow into. So that self-compassion, I think, is really key, and being okay with it and recognizing that you're not alone in that. Even the people that you look up to have definitely dealt with this before and probably still do.
Fair, fair, and exactly, and others in your other colleagues, or other people, other area,
Mhm.
other people you're competing with, or the people that like you said, they're dealing with this too. I mean, if you did know everything, your name would be Google, right? And I'm being facetious because even Google doesn't know everything, right?
Yes.
Told me the wrong word in Spanish the other day, so shame on Google.
Shame.
But to your point, it's that trusting yourself, because we're all so great at shaming ourselves and griefing ourselves and guilting ourselves. We're so great at that. And I mean, what does that do for us? I believe it. I'm sure you've seen this too. It holds people back. It holds us back. Makes us feel bad. We're not fulfilled. We're not enjoying the journey, enjoying the learnings. Oh, wow, I learned that. Oh, wow, I should have done that before cool, I can start now. Yes, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So at least I can start today and start doing things versus putting it off, procrastinating, I'm not readying, and
Yeah.
waiting longer, like we were talking about as well. And
Yeah.
it's that lie we tell ourselves, I think, that we don't know enough or not ready, and it's all BS, as you and I were talking about. And people do that. We see people do that all the time. So please avoid
Mhm.
being one of those people, guys.
Mhm.
Without judgment, because I used to do it too. Sometimes I still do it,
Right.
right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I gotta wait, I'm not ready, I gotta do this first, or whatever things we put in the way, barriers we put in the way. When if you want it, do it. Just go for it. If it's in front of you, you're ready. Why else would it be in front of you? You're
Yeah.
ready. Universe put it there. Universe and its divine wisdom put it in front of you. Why the hell else would it be there? And just, I'm not ready yet, or it's not the right time, or I have to this first, or I can't before this. It's just your own, putting off your own success. It's your choice, right? It's your
Mhm.
choice, you know.
Mhm.
Talk to us, Carissa, about let's, because again, you're a big health person too, and you talk a lot about health and nutrition, and I love that too, because I think that's such a supporting foundation for doing well in business and work and leadership and relationships and life. I mean, how can you do what you want to do and be at your best when you're sick, or you're not energetic, fatigued, exhausted, burnt out, whatever?
Mhm.
Talk to us, because there's a strong correlation, like we were talking about earlier, with the whole not thin enough, not pretty enough thing. Talk to us about that, please.
Yeah, so what I was saying earlier was a lot of clients that I work with, they have, and me included, this is my past self too, and she still creeps up sometimes.
Same.
But thinking that healthy has to look a certain way, and and I'm not good enough until I look this way, or I'm strong enough, or I'm thin enough, or I weigh this weight, or whatever the case might be. And I think the parallel there with leadership is what do you think that ideal version of leadership looks like? I'm not good enough until I reach that, until I have this amount of knowledge, or this amount of experience, or this amount of training.
Yeah.
When really, just like with health, health looks different on everybody. It feels different on everybody. Leadership looks different on everybody. You
Yeah.
approach it differently from everybody else. That's what makes you a leader, is the fact that you stand out.
I agree.
So feeling confident in that uniqueness and in your wholeness of who you are, and moving forth with that, um, rather than like topic what we've been talking about, holding
Yeah,
yourself back
fair
from
enough.
it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're really right, because it's and I have friends that are fitness professionals, and on the fitness days or the modeling or photography days, they haven't eaten for a day or three. They're on such strong diuretics that literally have no water. That's why they look tight and cut and lean and fit and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, and manganese are airbrushed to the ninth end. But yeah, they're people, like you said, doesn't have to look a certain way, because these people in fitness competitions or magazines, usually you can push them over with one finger, as big or strong or whatever as they are, because they haven't eaten and they haven't had much water, and they've on so much diuretics, they've gotten every drop of water out of their body, so they can look thin and lean and cut and get rid of any possible bloating. But you can push them over with a finger or two. These giant people are super strong people. It's very deceiving. So whether it's fitness, whether it's looks, health, leadership, confidence, you name it, there's often more than meets the eye and more behind the story. And so, again, to your point, I think we need to stop comparing ourselves to others, and just yes, let other people lead and inspire us. I've met some amazing people lately, and I've let them lead and inspire me. Tony Robbins, I let him lead and inspire me. However, I don't compare myself to him, because I don't want to be exactly like him. I mean, unless you want to be exactly like someone, exactly, which I doubt you do. You want what they have. You want their success. I want, the toys and the fun, the travel, and the accolades, and the service to tons of people, and helping a lot of people, that I want. But I don't want to be exactly like Tony Robbins, and you may not want to be exactly like, Bob or Jane or Frida or Sally or Sam anyway. So why the hell would you compare yourself to them? Let them inspire you and prove that that level of success is possible and doable. If you feel you're better than them, then, let it also prove to you that you can easily get there if they're there, right? If you think, oh, I can do better, then great. Then but avoid the comparison, again, the shame, the doubt, the grief, being down on yourself, the self-wallowing, because like you said, Carissa, that kills our dreams, kills our progress. We usually either hide or procrastinate or shut down when we do that to ourselves, and as my mentor jokes with me, he said, James, you could be as grief, ridden and as anxious and self-doubting and self-deprecating as you like. Go ahead, be it. And he's saying it facetiously, of course, because he's an amazing mentor, my mentor Rubel. But and I said, I get it. I get the point. I got it. Interesting,
Yeah.
psychology.
Yeah. And I think to add on to that, there's a difference between modeling behavior and trying to be someone.
Exactly.
I taught this in the workshop I just did too, with the confidence building, was who's someone you look up to and admire, who's someone that has what you want, and what behaviors can you start to model to open up, to challenge yourself, to step out of your comfort zone just a little bit more and see where you can push yourself. Because it's just that little bit more. It's just that little extra effort. And you're not taking on their beliefs and their values and what they're giving to the world. You're just modeling some behaviors that could help you push your beliefs and your values and what you're giving to the world out, in the world. So there's a difference there between that, and not comparing yourself is key as well. I think that'd be like the next step, is have that self-compassion, find examples in the past where it's wrong, and then stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people, but also stay inspired by other people too,
Yeah.
because they're opening up those pathways in the brain to what is possible for you.
Agreed. And your point is very well taken. Yeah, it's possible. So why would you not keep going and pursuing and taking steps? I mean, you can fill up a bathtub or fill up a swimming pool with one drop at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I think it gets. We see these people doing so well. Or, wow, that leader, or that president, or that director, or that CEO, or Tony Robbins, or Oprah, or whoever. And we see them and they can be overwhelming to us. Like, wow, look where they are and look where I am. And wow, all the things I'll have to do, or I don't know how to do it, or I don't know exactly how to get there. And no one needs to know exactly how to get there, because I promise you it'll change anyways on the journey. Just like and I'm going on vacation in a week and a half. And I mean, the pilots, they'll never fly an exact straight line to get to my vacation destination. You're blown off, weather and turbulence and birds and leaping gazelles and whatever other airplanes, whatever else, and so they don't even know. They have a destination in mind. They have a first couple steps. Okay, we got to go down the runway. We got to get in the air. We got to aim towards the destination. But again, I think too many people let themselves get overwhelmed or stuck because they're like, I don't know exactly how to get there. And you don't. It'll change anyways, even if you did. You don't need to know exactly. Know your why the hell you want that, and know where you're going. And that's it, right? And my other message is to avoid worrying if you get blown off track, or there's a little bit of learning, right? There's no failure. There's just feedback, testing, and learning. And here's a cool metaphor as well. And let me know what you think of this, Carissa. If you want, let's say we want to go Hawaii. Want to fly from New York or LA or Toronto to Hawaii. And again, the planes basically fly themselves these days. The pilot pushes the autopilot button and it does its thing, and the wind blows it off course, and it autocorrects, and then the turbulence, and it goes off course, and then it autocorrects and gets back on track and on path. And that happens most of the flight, bouncing around, wind, weather, turbulence. You got to go around and correct because there's a thunderstorm or whatever, right? However happens. So if you think of it this way, a tiny little plane can go halfway around the world and land on a tiny piece of land called Hawaii in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a ginormous ocean, by being off track most of the time. And it's a metaphor, isn't it? You're like, most of the time off track, and a tiny, tiny piece. So again, it's a metaphor for people's goals. I love giving. Avoid worrying and avoid being, oh, wait, I'm blown off track, okay, or that didn't work, or just get back on track. You don't have to be on track. You don't need to. And that's not where the learnings are anyways. The learnings are when you get blown off track, and you come back on track.
Yeah, exactly. I love that metaphor. It makes me think of being firm in your destination, but flexible with how you get there. It could look like this. It's never going to look like this. It's never going to look like that. But measuring that progress over time, you don't have to sit there and graph things out, but thinking about it as a graph in your head, it's going to go like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, watching a kid with a yo-yo walking uphill. Avoid paying attention to the yo-yo of
Mhm.
things up and down at first. Pay attention that he's actually walking uphill or she's walking
Oh,
uphill.
I love that. That's a great visual.
That's
Yeah.
metaphor day today.
Yeah, I love it. It
Too funny,
works.
too funny. I love it. I love it. Anything else, people, Chris? Anything else people need to know about that? They're already enough. Trust themselves. Trust their intuition. Anything else they need to know?
Yeah, I think if you're being called to do something,
Mm,
then you got to follow that nudge. I'm all about following your gut instinct. That's my Instagram handle, Gut Instinct Coach. I do a lot of gut health work, but also gut instinct work and like the science with the spirituality. And that nudge is there for a reason, and it's guiding you towards something that you're meant for, and it's going to open up doors. It might not be exactly how you envision it. It's probably not going to be, especially
that's
at
true as
first.
well. Exactly.
But it's exactly what you need in that moment. So follow it, find the learnings, and have fun.
And that's the thing, the heaven forbid the F word, right? Have fun. Have some
Yeah.
fun, enjoy the journey. That's why we're here. It's not to
Yeah.
get to that one little destination way, way up here. It's
Right.
actually to enjoy, to learn, to grow,
Yeah.
to your point, from the destination. So enjoy it and have some fun and stop
Yeah.
self-judging, stop being so hard. Find ways to enjoy. Yes, continue learning, continue growing, like Chris and I had said. And you already know enough. Start taking action, because there's information, or there's skills, but then when we take action, we apply it, then it becomes wisdom and it becomes
Mhm.
knowledge. Before we take action on it, it's just information. It's skills, it's information, it's training. If you want to become wisdom, knowledge, and you want to succeed, you need to take action.
Yep.
You can't succeed before you take action. You got to take action and succeed, then you win.
Right.
So this was a pleasure having you, Carissa, here. Everyone check out just down here below on the bottom. hello@creativeholistics.com is her email. Hello. CarissaWolkowicz.wixsite.com/website is her current URL. I know she's got her website under construction, so check her
That's
out there.
getting updated. Sorry, it's a bit messy.
All good, all good, all good. And work in progress, like we all are. It's a
Yeah,
metaphor for all of us
exactly.
anyways, right?
There
So,
we go. I'm here anyway. My
you know,
website's not finished yet.
there you go. What a great metaphor.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Take action before, you don't need to be done whatever before you take action. And then the Gut Instinct Coach at Instagram as well. This is awesome. I love that you mentioned already, Carissa, too. You help people with gut health, with gut instincts, and getting more and more present and getting relaxed and present, such that you're able to have that intuition. Because we're in our head, we're worried, we're overwhelming, we're in anxiety, overwhelmed places, stress places to the max. You're not going to get that gut instinct, the intuition, the messages, the nudges. You're present, calm, grounded,
Mhm.
relaxed. There's lots of apps, lots of ways to do it. We can have a whole
Yeah,
other webinar and podcast on that.
we
But
could.
when you are grounded and relaxed, the nudges will come, the intuition, the voice will come, and I find it comes from my body. My fear, worry, my overanalyzation, the talking me out of it comes from my head. The instinct comes from my body, my gut. So if you ever have a
Mm.
doubt, where is that voice coming from? Check, where's that
Yep.
voice coming from? It's from your head. I've learned it's probably fear or analyzation or talking yourself out of it, or the imposter in you, or your inner critic. If it comes from your body anywhere, that voice, that source of that wisdom or nudge or knowledge comes from your body, that's usually your intuition. So that's one way I like it as
Yes,
well.
exactly. And your health benefits from it all too, as you
Well,
know.
exactly.
It's
Heaven
just
forbid.
they go
Exactly.
hand in hand, which is a
Rest
beautiful
and
thing.
digest or fight and flight. Pick one. You
Yep.
can't have both at the same time. Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
This was such a pleasure having you here, Carissa. Thanks again for helping us give value, and I had
Yeah.
a blast today with you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Amazing,
Thank you.
amazing. My pleasure. Awesome. Everyone have a powerful day. Thanks for joining us. Take care.